Hi, I'm Debbie Miller. Lots of people ask me, how did I manage to lose so much weight so quickly? I didn't really lose it quickly, I did this over time, and I'd like to tell you something about that today in this video. I would also like to discuss with you different matters in relation to burning off fat and in relation to weight loss for getting lean. In this video I'm going to talk to you about comparing doing certain exercises such as interval training, HIIT training, doing sprints when out running, as opposed to focusing on your diet. Which of these is more effective? How strict should your nutrition be? When I worked in full-time nursing, I used to work these shifts and be doing HIIT training either before or after my shifts, sometimes even after a night shift. However, I also used to eat a crap diet, eating mainly foods that were bad for me, including processed and refined foods, and eating the wrong proportion of macronutrients for my type. I was not eating in accordance with my genetic heritage. Over time, I experimented with different faddy diets and always finished up putting most if not all the weight back on. This of course is yo-yo dieting, which is very bad for your health. I was putting more stress on an already stressed body. This body was traumatised by a stressful job, working shifts, and due to the extremes of stress in my life. Many people experience these extremes. Such extremes like this. As time went on, I discovered through my training as a holistic lifestyle coach and as a clinical exercise specialist, personal trainer, the process of using metabolic typing. And it has been with this that I have balanced the biochemistry of my body, lost the weight and kept it off. I feel fabulous as a result. Earlier, before the permanent weight loss, I was doing this HIIT training and I still had a fat tummy. I now know why. There are issues here due to catabolic exercise overstressing the body, and I had to learn to stop that as it was making me ill. One day I had a panic attack during one of the classes, and that was my turning point. Due to this issue with diet in relation to stress on the body, I did some research. I found that a protein in most grains called gluten was one of the culprits. This is an indigestible protein that many people can be allergic to and can have all sorts of health problems as a result. A good way to remember what foods contain gluten, particularly grains, is to remember browse, B-R-O-W-S, which is barley, rye, oats, wheat and spelt. But cutting out foods containing these for a couple of weeks, you can find out if you're gluten intolerant. I tried this and guess what? Not only did I feel so much better, but I started to seriously lose weight. I became grain-free, and several weeks later I totally got rid of my sugar cravings. You can get rid of your sugar cravings over 48 hours, by the way, but to get rid of the sugar that is produced from grains takes a bit longer once you got the simple carbohydrates such as sugar products out of the way. This change in me happened in less than 2 months. I had really burned off loads of fat. I was doing exercise, but I was only running or doing interval sprints on a now and again basis. Some of the time I just rested my body. As a result of reducing the grains in my diet, I became lean. This taught me that although I was exercising less in relation to cardio and interval training, I burned off the fat. My point here is that in order to reduce the fat in your body, you need to eliminate the grains from your diet and reduce the gluten in order to reduce inflammation in your gut, especially if you're gluten intolerant, which around 70% of the population in the UK is. There is also a lowering of the insulin response in your body, so you don't have sugar cravings. By lowering the sugar response, you have a more free fat to burn, as opposed to always burning glycogen. You need to continue doing exercise like sprinting or interval training, because this is an important part of any strength and or endurance training programme, especially if you're doing this for performance. But start cutting back on carbohydrates. Many people will argue with me on this, especially when linked to grains. I'm not saying don't eat vegetables. I'm saying do eat vegetables and have a little bit of fruit, but not that much in the way of fruit. I have been doing this and my energy levels are great. I lost a whole load of weight and the symptoms of adrenal fatigue are history. I find I'm feeling fabulous doing all this. The majority of my nutrients are eating 60% fats and high purine meats and organ meats, egg yolks and butter. Coconut oil plays a big part in my diet. These are saturated fats and cholesterol that are essential for the body to be in good health. But they also ignite the pathway to create the hormones required to give me the energy to train. This is something that's very helpful for a woman my age to be doing, to balance my hormones. If you read Sally Fallon's book, Nourishing Traditions, you can find out all about this. Obviously, there are people who cannot eat like this, and this advice would not be for them as a result of a genetic heritage. They need to eat more carbs. They need to eat more in the way of fruit and vegetables. But they do need to be very strategic about when they take their carbs in. And if they take grains, that they take whole grain rice, for instance, or grains that don't contain gluten. Pick your time when to have those carbs throughout the day, and very close to when you work out. Not in the evening before going to bed. Try to keep to earlier in the day and right before or after you work out. Things like low glycemic index berries such as blueberries and strawberries are very good for carb types, and to a certain extent mixed between carb and protein types. But for me, I have none of that. I used to eat a carb type, which was some of my crap diet, I must admit. But that put weight on me and it stressed my body and I became ill. Meat, eggs, butter, coconut oil and green veg and some fruit is what works for me. And I can't sing its praises enough. Look at me. Look really cool for almost 60 years old. I'll be 60 next year. The bottom line is mainly your diet, with the exercise required to keep your body strong and in balance. Another good resource is Paul Chek's How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy, so have a read at that. Read anything by Vince Gironda, who really shows you how to get lean with the methods I have just mentioned. And come and see me, just call me, and my phone number's on my webpage here, and it's you can also send me an email if you want. Or talk on live chat, which is at the bottom of the page of my website, and we can talk about getting you started up with some programs for diet and lifestyle. So it's been great to talk to you today. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.